Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So, in the last class, we discussed about the valuation of future contract and valuation of forward contract. While discussing, we saw that there are different methods are there for the valuation of a future contract as well as forward contract. Even though the valuation of forward contract and future contract are more or less similar, but while doing the valuation of future contract, we have to see that if there is any storage cost involved in the trading. So if there is a storage cost involved, then we have a separate set of formula for the valuation that we discussed in the last class. Otherwise, we have to follow the same formula which we used for the valuation of forward contract. Yes, and while discussing the meaning of future contract, we discussed that what do you mean by future contract? The future contract is the contract between two parties where one party agrees to buy and another party agrees to sell for a predetermined price in a future date. And while discussing the features of future contract, there is one important features of future contract which differentiate with the forward contract. That is, uh, future contract is a standardized contract. Why it is standardized? Standardized in terms of its quantity, standardized in terms of price determination, standardized in terms of quality. And we also discussed the difference between forward contract and future contract. How a future contract is better than the forward contract. The main difference is the default risk. Default risk is less in case of future contracts. So what do you mean by default risk? Default risk means, see here, in the when there is a contract between two parties, so there is high chance that any one party may breach the contract. He may come out from the contract. So there are high chance because if the contract is not favorable, so any one party may breach the contract. So that we call it as a default risk. Back out from the contract if the contract is not favorable. Uh, this situation normal happens in forward contract. Forward contract is normally take out of the counter exchange or out of the stock market. So there are high chance of default risk in forward contract. So in order to avoid such default risk, this Security Exchange Board of India (SEBI) introduced a new contract called a future contract. So where everything is happen under legal means there will be a rules and regulation for contract, and if any one party breach the contract, then the other party can go for what compensation, or there will be a legal procedures are there. So everything under the control of government in future contract. So how this Security Exchange Board of India uh, try to minimize or try to avoid this default risk? What step they taken to minimize the default risk? So in order to minimize the default risk, actually this Security Exchange Board of India or Forwarding Commission, they introduced a new concept in the future contract, that is marking to market or mark to margin. That means both the parties, buyer and seller, has to deposit certain amount of money as a margin. While enter into contract, both the parties has to deposit certain amount of money as a margin. So what they do, the clearinghouse corporation, that is the third party which act as a rolling. Here they take the money from the both buyer and seller, and they check out the daily profit or loss from the both the side for buyer and as well as seller. From the daily profit or loss, they check out clear margin account. If any party made profit, that particular profit will be credited to the margin account. If investor made loss, then that particular loss deducted from the margin account. So here the clearing settlement, while the clearing settlement in future contract is on daily basis. In forward contract, the clearing settlement is on at the end of the maturity period, but in future contract, the clearing settlement will be on daily basis. They see what is the price fluctuation of the particular contract, and what is the position, financial position or profit or loss position of the investor. If he made profit, then that day's profit will be credited to his margin account. If he made loss, then that particular loss will be debited from the margin account. So that account is called margin account, and that process is called marking to market or mark to margin account. So in this today's class, we'll discuss how this clearinghouse corporation will operates margin accounts. Normally, this account, particular account, will be operated by the clearinghouse corporation. Clearinghouse corporation is nothing but stock market. So there will be buyer and seller. In between buyer and seller, third party who act as a mediating role, that is stock market. We call it as a clearinghouse corporation. So they have the role to on behalf of buyer to act as a on behalf of buyer and seller. So here, how the margin account operates on daily basis. So we'll discuss. First thing, we'll see one problem. With example, we can understand how this margin account operates. Yes. See here, here we have one problem. I think it is visible now. Yeah. So an investor contracts her broker on 5th June to buy 2 December gold future contracts on the Commodity Exchange division of the New York Mercantile Exchange. The current future pricing is $600 per ounce. The contract size is 100 per ounce, 100 ounces. So the investor has contracted to buy a total of 200 ounces at the prices. The broker requests the investor to deposit in a margin account of $2,000 per contract. The maintenance margin is fixed at 75% of initial margin. The contract is entered into on 5th June at $600 and closed on 26th June at $592.30. The future price per ounce of gold on trading days during the period is provided below. So this is the case. Here one party enter into contract, and that is gold contract. So while entering into contract, we know that in future contract we have lot size, multiples or multiplier. So here the multiplier or the lot size is 100 ounces, and he purchased 2 gold contract, 2 December gold future contract. For one contract, the unit will be 100 ounces. So he is purchasing 2 December future contract. That means he's purchasing 200 ounces of gold. So in future, as I said, if a buyer enter into a future contract, consider he planning to enter future contract. Both the parties, that is both the buyer and seller, has to pay certain amount of money to the clearinghouse corporation. So this is a clearinghouse corporation. They act on behalf of buyer and seller. So here, while enter into contract, they have to give certain amount. So that amount we call it as a margin amount. Margin amount is nothing but when parties enter into future contract, they have to deposit certain amount with the clearing house corporation. So that amount is called margin account. What is the purpose of margin account? To avoid or to minimize the default risk. So if any one party breach the contract, then the margin amount will be transferred to other party. So in order to avoid such default risk, they will take money from both buyer and seller. So that is margin amount, meaning of margin amount. Now, how much they will take margin amount? How much they will take as a margin amount? So the amount will be decided by the clearing house corporation itself. They will tell you how much amount you have to deposit while entering into future contract. And the calculation of margin amount normally, it normally 5 to 10% of total contract. Normally, the clearing house corporation charge 5 to 10% of total value of your contract as a margin, total value of contract. So what is the total value of the contract? So they will take 5 to 10% of total value of the contract as a margin. Then how to calculate the total value of the contract? Say the total value of the contract is nothing but the price per unit, price, closing price for one unit into lot size. Lot size, how many units are consist in one lot. For example, if I am purchasing one contract of Infosys company, future contract. So in Infosys future contract, it consists of around 500 shares. 500 shares. For one shares, the price will be 1200. If it is 1200, then what is the total value of the contract? If I purchased only one contract, so one contract consists of one lot, and one lot consists of 500 shares. So the lot size into number of contract purchased. So this is the formula are used to calculate total value of the contract. Price, first one, price per unit. If I purchased Infosys shares, so price for one share is 1200. And if I am purchasing two contract consist of consider I am purchasing two contracts. So for one share 1200, and the lot size for one contract is 500. Lot size is consider lot size is 500 into I am purchasing two contract. Two contract. So now what is the total value? So 1200 into 500 into 2. Just example, 1200 into 500 into 2. So it around 12 lakh. So this is the total value of the contract. So now margin, consider for Infosys company's future contract, the clearing house corporation demands for the margin of 10%. 10% of total value of the contract. So then margin balance or initial margin, we can call it as initial margin also. Margin balance, initial margin means the margin amount deposited at the time of enter into contract. So margin balanced, if they demand for 10% of the total value of the contract, so then 10% on 12 lakh. So 1 lakh 20,000. So this amount has to deposit by the buyer and seller at the time of enter into contract. So what happens in margin account? See, both the parties has to deposit this 1,20,000. Consider I'm dealing with day one. This one is the days 3, 4. Just I'm trading for 4 days. Consider I'm trading for 4 days, and prices of Infosys shares over 4 days. So in the first days, consider I purchased 1,250, 1,250, 1,250, then 1,248, then 1,256, and 1,260 prices. So this is the contract. He entered into contract for 1,250 first day. First day he entered into contract for 1,250. What is the profit or loss on daily basis? See, first day we cannot find out what is the profit or loss. So it will be nil, 0, 1,250, 1,250. In the second day, if you compare for the second day, what is the profit or loss? See, he purchased for 1,250. Now it is declined to 1,248. So 2 rupees loss for one share. Remember, 1,248 for one share. So from the purchasing price, it declined 2 rupee. For one share, 2 rupee. And if you see, the lot size is 500 and he purchased 2 contracts. And we have a margin balance here. Margin balance. We can write the margin balance. That is initial margin. He deposited 1,20,000. Okay. Second day, he made loss for 2 rupee loss and 500 lot size, and he purchased 2 contracts. So how much? 2 into 500 into 2, 2,000. So in the second day, the loss is 2,000. Loss, we write loss in the bracket. So on the second day he made loss 2,000. So what we have to do? Now we have to deduct this 2,000 from the initial margin. So initial margin 1,20,000. 1,20,000. So from 1,20,000, if you deduct 2,000, then you'll get 1,18,000. And next, say from 1,248 to it increased to 1,256. How much increased? 8 rupee. 8 rupee for one shares. 8 into 500 into 2. So 8 into 500 into 2. So made profit of 8,000. Made profit of 8,000. What you have to do? You have to add 8,000, this 8,000 to margin balance. So 1,18,000 plus 88,000. So you'll get 1,26,000. And third day, from 156 to 1,256 to 1,260. So again he made profit of rupees 4 for one share. So 4 into 500 into 2 contract. So 4,000. Profit 4,000. So if we add 1,30,000. So this is normal case. Likewise, we have to maintain the margin account on daily basis. See, sometime what happens here, the few this clearinghouse corporation, they will set two type of margin balance. One is initial margin. Initial margin means the margin amount asked at the time of enter into contract. And the next one they will ask, that is the minimum margin. Minimum margin. So what is the minimum margin? Minimum margin means the margin minimum amount the investor has to keep in margin account throughout the trading days. The minimum balance amount they have to keep. For example, now it is 1,20,000. So okay, it's the second day made loss 2,000, and here consider here. Sometime what happens on fifth day, if he made loss of 50,000, then we have to deduct. Sometimes what happens, the entire amount will be, there are chances entire amount will be entire amount in the margin balance will be cleared out from the loss made by the particular day. For example, margin balance 1,30,000. He made loss of 1,60,000. So there will be no balance left to cover such loss. So in order to avoid such events, what they do, if the clearinghouse corporation also maintains minimum margin balance. So this is 1,20,000 initial margin. They maintain also what minimum margin, for example, 80,000. 80,000 minimum margin. What is the condition of minimum margin? Condition of minimum margin is if the margin balance in the margin account goes below the minimum margin amount, then clearing house corporation call margin money or margin call money. So if the balance in the margin account goes below the minimum margin, then clearing house corporation call for the money, that is margin call money. So I'll explain with the example. See here, 1,30,000 is the balance left on the fourth day. Consider on the fifth day, if investor made loss of 52,000, then if you from 1,30,000, if you deduct 52,000, what is the balance left? That is 78,000. 78,000, which is less than the minimum marginal. So when the margin balance goes below the minimum margin account, they can call extra amount, that is call money, extra amount to the up to the level of initial margin. I'll repeat. So when the balance in the margin account goes below the minimum margin, then clearing house corporation call for extra money, we call it as call money, up to the level of initial margin. Consider this example. Now 1,30,000 and made loss of 52,000. What is the balance left? 78,000, which is below the margin amount. Now the clearing house corporation can make call up to the level of initial margin. So initial margin is 1,20,000. So from now it is the balance is 78,000. So what is the amount short? That is from 1,20,000. 1,20,000 if you deduct 78,000. So around, yeah, 1,20,000, 42,000, correct? Yeah, 42,000. Yeah, 42,000 is should be called as a call money. So here we need to write 42,000. Once you called 42,000 amount, now the balance in the margin account will be 1,20,000. Right? See, from 1,30,000, if you deduct 52,000, we'll get 78,000. 78,000. And we need to call extra money up to the level of initial margin, that is 1,20,000. So for that we need extra amount of 42,000. So we can call it 42,000. So this amount is called call money. Now the balance amount in the margin account will be same as in the initial margin. So likewise, we have to maintain margin account. So in mark to margin or margin to marking to market, we have to consider first thing is the total value of the contract. We should know how to calculate total value of the contract, that is price into lot size into number of contract. Then initial margin, how to calculate initial margin. Normally initial margin will be calculated on the total value of the contract, or 10%, 5%, whatever they mentioned in the questions. And next one is the minimum margin. Minimum margin also sometimes it depends on the value of the contract. They will tell like 5% of the total value of the contract, or sometimes it will be depend on the initial margin. 70% of the initial margin or 80% of the initial margin will be kept as a minimum margin. So three calculation, then the operation of margin account you should know for marking to market account. So we'll discuss one problem at that you will understand. So again that same problem. See, now an investor contracts her broker on 5th June to buy 2 December gold future contracts on the commodity exchange division of the New York Mercantile Exchange. So an investor contract his broker. So he wanted to buy 2 December gold future contract. So here underlying asset is gold and gold future. He is purchasing December gold, 2 December gold future contract on the commodity exchange division of New York. And the current future price is $600 per ounce. The future price is given here, also they given open current market price on the morning, or you can call it a morning, 600. So at that time 600 per ounce, remember, per ounce $600, and the contract size is 100 ounces. The contract size is 100. For one contract, the lot size, the multiplier is 100 ounces. The investor has contracted to buy a total of 200 ounces. So here also they mentioned he is purchasing two contract means one contract consists of 200 ounces, so he is purchasing 200 ounces at this price, and the broker requests the investor to deposit in margin account of $2,000. See, this information is very important. The broker request the clearinghouse corporation. The broker requests the investor to deposit in a margin account of $2,000. So that is nothing but initial margin. While entering into contract, they have to deposit. So the amount is dollar or $2,000 per contract. Per contract $2,000. He is purchasing two contract. So total initial margin will be $4,000. Next, the maintenance margin is fixed at 75% of initial margin. So now initial margin is $4,000. 75% of initial margin. So you need to calculate what is the maintenance margin. And you know the purpose of initial margin and what you have to do when the margin balance will goes below the maintenance margin. So 75% of initial margin. The contract is entered into on 5th June at $600, that is opening price, and closed on 26th June. So here the details are given. See, on 26th June, the price closed at $592.30. So these are the details. The future price per ounce of gold on trading days during the period is provided below. So here one investor enter into contract who wants to purchase gold future, that is two contracts, and one contract consists of 100 ounces. So he is buying 200 ounces at the price of $600 per ounce. Hello. $600 per contract, and the maintenance the initial margin is given, that is $2,000 per contract, and he's purchasing two contract, therefore the total initial margin will be $4,000, and maintenance margin will be 75% of 4,000. And these are the closing future price for that particular contract. We need to check or identify what is the profit or loss if the prices will be like this for from 5th June to 26th June. So show the operation of margin account, how the margin account will be maintained for this particular case. So first we'll calculate what is the total value of the contract. First step. Okay. So total value of the contract. Total value of the contract. Total value. The formula for total value of the contract is price, closing price or future price into future price for 1 unit into lot size into number of contracts. Number of contracts purchased. Price into lot size into number of contract purchased. So what is the price at he entered into contract? See here, the current future price is $600 per ounce. So at the time of entering into contract, the price, here also you can check, the price is $600. $600. I'll write $600. And lot size, what is the lot size? See, the contract size is 100 ounces. The contract size is 100 ounces. That is a multiplier. Lot size 100. One contract consists of 100 units, 100 ounces. And how many contract he is buying? He is buying total two contract. Here also they mentioned 2 December gold future contract. He wants to buy 2 December gold future contracts and total, so it is 2. Now find out what is the total value of the contract. So that is 600 into 100 into 2. Okay, total value of the contract is $1,20,000. $1,20,000 or $120K. Now the next calculation, this will be the normally first calculation, that is calculation of total value of the contract, and second calculation will be margin balance, margin amount, or initial margin amount, sorry, initial margin amount. So in the calculation of initial margin, as I said, there will be two cases, two possibilities. One is that either they directly give, or they will give in the form of percentage on contract. So in this case, see here, the broker requests the investor to deposit in margin account $2,000. So which is directly given. The broker requests the investor to deposit in margin account $2,000. So find margin account which is directly given $2,000. Now we know the initial margin which is directly given. The next calculation will be maintenance margin or minimum margin. Maintenance margin or minimum margin. Initial margin and minimum margin. Initial margin directly given $2,000, and minimum margin or maintenance margin. See, the maintenance margin is given. The maintenance margin is fixed at 75% of initial margin. The maintenance margin is fixed at 75% of the initial margin. So $2,000 is the initial margin. 2,000 into 75%. So
Sir,
minimum margin.
sir,
Hello. Yes. Any doubt?
sir, sir, here initial margin 2000. Yeah, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, initial margin, initial margin 2000 per contract, sir. Here two contract, right?
Okay. Yes. Right. 2,000 is given for one contract. Correct. 2,000 is given for one contract. Then 2,000 into two contract. That is one contract. No. Yeah. So 2,000 is, so 4,000. 4,000. Then here also 4,000 into 75%. 4,000 into 75%. So total 3,000. 3,000 will be maintenance margin or the minimum margin. They have to maintain at least 3,000 in the balance account, and initially they have to deposit 4,000. So these are the pre-calculation you have to do for margin account operations. First calculation, total value of the contract. Second calculation, initial margin amount. Here they directly given $2,000 for one contract. So he purchased two contracts, therefore $4,000. Then minimum margin is given 75% of initial margin, and 4,000 is the initial margin. 4,000 into 75%, it will be 3,000. Now we'll prepare margin account. See, margin account requires so many calculation, like I think. So this is a margin account. Margin account of who? Mr. Investor. Okay. Margin account. First column we need for day. A daily basis we are settling profit or loss. So first column for day, you can write So we have total from 5th to 26th June. We have so many days. Okay. Then second column for price, future price. Second column for future price, future prices, which is directly given in the question. So we need to write these two details will be given in the question, day and prices. Then we need to calculate what is the profit or loss made on that particular contract on daily basis. Calculate profit or loss. Then third, one more extra column for the quick reference, cumulative profit or loss. You know what you mean by cumulative. So we have to add the profit made and we have to deduct. So we have to find out what is the cumulative. Because for the quick reference, at the last, whatever the amount left, whatever the amount balance in the cumulative profit or loss column, that would be the profit or loss made by the investor from the particular contract. Just for quick reference, we maintain one more, that is cumulative profit and loss. Then margin balance from the initial margin, and after deducting and crediting the profit or loss, what is the leftover balance in the margin account? So that should be written in the margin balance account. And the last column will be margin call money, margin call money. So this particular column will be used if the balance account will goes below the maintenance margin, minimum margin, then the clearinghouse corporation, they will call for extra money. So that amount, what amount they called, that should be written here, margin call. So many columns we need to uh, set to prepare margin account, operation of margin account. First one is a day column, then prices, then a profit and loss account, then cumulative profit and loss account, then margin balance account, and last one is margin call. So first I'll write the days which is given in the questions, days and prices, days and prices. So I'll write, I can write first one is 5th. Okay. 5th, both opening price and closing prices are given. I'll write first 5th open and 5th closing. Okay. If you see, okay. If you look at the questions, if you look at the questions, see in the question they given 5th opening price, 5th closing price. So write it as it is. Write all the details, days and future price, days and future price, one below one. So I'll write 6th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay, till 26 and write prices. So $600, 597, 596, 598, 596.10, 598.20, 597.10, 596.77. So 591.80, 93.60, 91.0, 592.70, 70, 591 point, then 592.30. So these are the details which is given in the question. Now, with this detail, you can find out. So he is buying the contract. He is buying the contract. So you can write here long position. Position is long position. So whenever the buyer, the investor, if he is purchasing the contract, then he'll get a long position. If he is selling the contract, then he'll get short position. The position will be very important here because depending upon the position, so whether he is taking long or short, the profit or loss will be decided. Means if investor taking long position and if the price declines, then he'll make loss. In case of short position, if price declines, then he'll make profit because he takes short position. Short position is nothing but he is selling the contract. First he is selling the contract, then he is purchasing, repurchasing. It is like a short selling. In the cash market, we have short selling like that. In future contract, we call it as a short position. So that difference you should understand whether he is taking long position in the contract or short position. So he is purchasing the contract, therefore he will get a long position. Okay. Now tell me the profit or loss made by the contractor. Okay. Yes. Say on the first day, before that, we already calculated what is the total margin. So I can write here the initial margin amount $4,000, correct? Then maintenance margin, minimum margin $3,000. Initial margin $4,000 and maintenance margin is 3,000. So on the first day, yes, on the first day there will be no profit opening, no profit, no cumulative profit. Margin balance, initial margin 4,000 and no margin column opening. See, on the closing, the price for 1 unit of the that contract, 1 ounce, from it declined from 600 to 597. So what is the loss? It declined, no? He's taking long position, so he made loss. What is the loss? That is $3. $3 for 1 ounce. So $3 for 1 ounce. How many ounces he is purchasing? You can directly multiply, that is 200 ounces. One contract consists of 100 ounce. So total 200 ounce he purchased. For 1 ounce, he made loss of $3. So total loss $600. Correct? From 600 to it declined 597. So he made loss of $3 and he purchased total 200 ounces. So total loss 600. Write loss within the bracket so we can identify the profit or loss. The amount written in the parenthesis or within the bracket is called as a loss. So loss 600. What is the cumulative loss? Same. On the first day, the cumulative loss will be 600 only. Now, what is the balance left in the margin? So from 4,000, deduct days loss, that is 600. This one, profit or loss on daily basis, $600. So from $4,000, if you deduct 600, the amount is 3,400. So which is above the maintenance margin amount. Maintenance margin amount is 3,000 or minimum margin. So which is above. So no need to call margin call. Extra amount. There is no need to call extra amount. Yes. Next one, from 597 again declined to 596.10. So what is the price declined? From 597 minus, 597 minus 596.10. So $0.9 declined. $0.9 declined into 200. 0.9 into 200. So loss $180. Loss of $180. Right? Yes. So 180 is the loss. Now calculate what is the cumulative loss. First day loss 600. Second day loss is 180. So total loss will be 780. 600 plus 180. So total 780 is the cumulative loss. And what is the balance left in the margin balance? So from 3,400, now the balance left is 3,400. From 3,400, you have to deduct 180. Loss of 6th June, 180. So how much? 3,400 minus 180. 3,400 minus 180. How much? 3,220. Again, which is above minimum margin or maintenance margin. So there is no need to call margin money. Likewise, calculate for all 6 days. Again, I will do for the on 9th. So 596.10. So here increased from 596.10 to increase 598.20, which is a profit. So profit 598.20, 598.20 minus 596.10. So $2 is the profit. $2.1 made profit for 200 ounce. So total $420 made profit. 420 is the made profit. So when he made profit 420, so total cumulative loss will be reduced from 780, deduct 420, 780 minus 420. So it reduced to 360. Understood? How it comes 360 from total loss 720. Now we are deducting 420 profit. So the total loss will be reduced to 360. Yes. Now for this balance 3,220, add today's profit. Add today's profit. So that will be 3,220 plus 420. So the balance will be 3,640. So 3,640, no need to call money. And the next one, 597 point. See next from 598.20 declined to 597.10. 10, that is loss. Calculate what is the amount of loss. 598.20 minus 597.10. So $1 into 1.1 into 200. So total loss, that would be 220 loss, 220 loss. Now again, this loss will be increased 360. So it will be increased to 580 total cumulative loss, and margin balance also reduced from 3640. We have to deduct today's loss, that is 220. 3420. Okay, there is no issue with the maintenance margin. We have sufficient balance, 3420. So no need to call margin. And the next day calculate, it decreased again 596.70. So 597.10 minus 596.70, 0.4 into 200, 0.4 into 200, 80. 80 is the loss. So 660, it will be 660, and 3420 minus 80, so 3340. No need to call margin amount. Again decreased 596.70 minus 595.40, $1.3 loss, and 200 into 200, so 260 is a loss, 660. So the total loss increased from 660 to 920, and the margin balance now 3340 minus 260. So now it 3080. Okay, now it is 3080, which is above the initial maintenance margin. Maintenance margin is 3000. We have 80 rupees more than the maintenance margin, so no need to call margin amount. Again decreased 595.40 minus 593.30. So $2 loss into 200, 2.1 into 200, 420 is the loss. Now the total loss will be increased from $920 to $1,340. So cumulative loss in the 1,340 loss. Now see, before writing margin balance, the closing balance in the margin account is 3080. So 3080. So if you deduct 3080 from the today's loss, that is 420, today's loss 420. So the amount will be left in the margin account 2620. Sorry, 2660. 2000, right? Okay. Amount left in the margin account 2660, which is below the maintenance margin. What is the maintenance margin? Maintenance margin is 3000. So now, as per the rules, when the margin balance goes below the maintenance margin, then they have to call up to the level of initial margin. So what is the initial margin? Initial margin is 4,000. So now they have to call up to the level of 4,000. Okay, this is the balance we need, and this is the balance shown in the now account, that is 2,660. So what is the balance required? That is the difference between 4,000 and 2,660. So 1,340 should be call money. So what is the amount we have to call? 1,340. You understood the calculation? So this is the balance left after deducting the loss, and which is below the maintenance margin. So therefore we have to call up to the level of initial margin 4,000. So amount will be 1,340. So now clearing house will call 1,340. So call for 1,340. 1,340. So once it call 1,340, the amount left in the margin balance will be 4,000. So now the amount left in the account will be 4,000. Clear? Next.
Sir.
Yes. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. 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 Now 593.30 price increased from 593.30 to 593.60. So 0.3 is the profit into 200. So 0.3 into 200 will be profit of 60. So it will reduce 1,000 to 80, I guess. 1,340 minus 60, 1,280 total cumulative loss, and the margin balance will be 4,060. Today's profit 60, and cumulative profit or loss will be reduced from 1,340 to 1,280, and margin amount we have to add today's profit 4,060, and there will be no need to call margin amount. Next one, from 593.360 to 591.80. 591.80. So decreased. So there will be loss. 593.60 minus 591.80. So 1.8 into 200. 1.8 into 200. So total it declined, no? So loss 593.60 to 591.80. So loss 360. The total cumulative loss will be increased to 1,640. And here also margin amount from 4,060 deduct today's loss 360. So it will be 3,700, and no need to call margin amount. And for 18th June, from 591.80, it increased 592.70. So made profit of 0.9 into 200 ounce. 0.9 into 200 ounce. 180. 180. So from 1,640 deduct today's profit 180. 2,460 total loss. and add profit 3700 plus 180, so 3880. Then again decline 592.70 minus 587. So okay, huge loss 5.7 into 200, from 592 to into 500, so 2850 loss, huge loss 2850. Now see the balance, correct? No, 2850 balance 3880. If you deduct 3880 minus today's loss 2850, so the amount will remain in the margin balance is 1030.
Sir,
Yes,
5.7 into 200 is 1140.
1000, 5.7 to,
Yeah. 1001.
yeah, 1140, correct?
Yes, sir.
1140 loss. Okay, if you deduct from 3880 minus 1140, so amount left in the margin account is 2740, correct? So if you deduct this loss 1140 from 3880, the amount remained in the balance account is 2740, which is below the maintenance margin account. So when account goes below the margin account, we need to call extra amount up to the level of initial margin account. So initial margin is 4000. What is the amount we have to call? That is 4000 minus 2740. So we need to call 1260. 1260 we need to call. So I'll write here 1000 call money, 1260, and okay, cumulative loss will be same, 1460 plus 1140, so 2600 is the cumulative loss, and the balance left in the margin account is will be 4000, right? Yes. And next one, from 587, it will be remain same 587. So no loss, no profit. Okay, zero, you can write a zero. And here 2600. Cumulative profit and loss will be remain same. Profit for loss will be zero, but cumulative loss remains same. And balance also will remain same. So this one, zero. And from 587 to increase 588.10. So from increased, so made profit 588.70, 588.70 minus 588 point, sorry, 588.10 minus 587. So $1.1 profit for 200 ounce, 200, 220 is the profit, $220 is the profit. So cumulative loss will be what reduced, will be reduced 2600 minus 220 reduced to 2,380, and this one increased 4,000 to 20. 4,000 margin amount, profit, no? 220 is the profit, increased. Yeah, 4,000 to 20. So this one is 0. Again, from 588.10 to increased 588.70, the profit will be $0.60. So into 200 ounces. So 0.6 into 200. So $120 is the profit. You can, again, this will be reduced from 2008 120. So it reduced to 2,260. $120. 4,340. And again increased from 588.70 to 591. $2.3 profit into 200. So 2.3 into $200, that is 460 is the profit. So 2260 minus 460. So cumulative loss will be reduced to 1,800 and 4340 amount balance 4,800. Let me know if there is any mistakes. Okay. And last one, from 591 to increased 592.30. 592.30 minus 591. So it is $1.3 profit. So total $260 profit. Cumulative loss will be reduced from 1,800 to 1,540, and the balance in the margin account will increase from 4,800 to 260. So the balance is 5,060. Right? This one, no need to call margin account. So this way we prepare margin account. So now there will be some sub questions like what is the total loss or profit or loss made by the investor from this contract. So we can just look at the cumulative profit or loss column. What is the total profit or loss made by an investor from this contract? So he made loss, that is $1,540 from this particular contract. He made loss of 1,540. And what is the margin amount he invested from total amount he invested as a margin? So to find out margin amount invested by the investor, that is first one, initial margin of 4,000. He deposited first initial margin 4,000, then add call money. Call money, that is 1,340 and 1,260. So what is the total amount deposited by the investor? That is 4,000 plus 1,340 and plus 1,260. So total amount deposited by the investor is 6,600. And out of that he made a loss of 1,540 and the remaining balance will be 5,060. This amount will be delivered or hand over, transferred to the investor at the end of the day, end of the contract. On 26th, this amount will be transferred to investor. See, total invested 6,600 and the loss already deducted, that is 1,540. So amount left is 5,060. So there is no question of default risk because which is the profit or loss is already deducted from the margin account. So investment is 6,600 and loss from the contract 1,540 and remaining balance will be transferred to the investor after deducting the remuneration or commission for the broker. Clear? So if any doubt regarding the operation of margin account, you can ask. Think about and ask any questions. Students,
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
if you have any questions, you can ask. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the next class, we'll discuss one more problem, okay? Tomorrow. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, for the examination, you can count this one also. For the examination, the pattern will be like this, total 25 marks exam. Out of 25 marks, 25 or we'll keep it 30, okay? The question will be same. Total 4 questions will be there. Out of 4 questions, you have to attend 3 questions. Each question carries 10 marks. And out of 4 questions, you can expect 2 practical and 2 theory. One practical is valuation of future and forward contract. Any 2 cases I may ask. And one more, this one, operation of margin. So that will be 2 practical. And 2 theory, the first chapter, introduction part, and the meaning and all. And last part, first chapter and last chapter for theory. 2 questions you can expect, 1 question from each subject or each chapter. So total 4 questions. Out of 4 questions, you have to attend 3. Each question carry 10 marks. So 30 and 1 hour examination, right? Yes. Clear about examination?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.